We are playing World Cup Fantasy. Yes, guys, the World Cup is around the corner, so it is about time to reveal my own team, to open our fantasy league for the community, and to reveal the prizes of the league. Yes, this time it's fair to say this is going to be the greatest fantasy league in the history of this channel, of our community, because I managed to sort a prize pool for you of $2,000. And the league is obviously still 100% free to play. So before I can show you my team, and I can tell you, I'm very, very confident. I mean, I do say that every time, to be fair, but this time I am sure it's a winner team. Talking about winner though, let me show you the prizes that you're gonna win. We're playing the World Cup on the fantasy platform Real FIFA, and places 1, 2, and 3. So basically the podium will win something. Let's see if I'm gonna drop a prize for 69th as well after all. Numero uno, the winner of our fantasy league, gets, first of all, a PlayStation 5. Plus, which is even crazier once you understand what it is, this legendary Ronaldinho video collectible. One of the rarest items on the Real FIFA marketplace, worth around $1,000. And it's a legendary football video collectible. Here the goal of Ronaldinho, where he banged in that free kick 21 meters against Torino for Milan in 2008. Top right corner. Mwah. Those were the days, man. Ronaldinho, Pirlo, Kaká, Maldini. What a Milan side. So that's like $1,500 in total for the first place. Second place, we'll get a copy of FIFA 23 plus $300 worth of digital football collectibles. And third place, we'll get $100 of football collectibles on Real FIFA. These collectibles, the Ronaldinho one and also the ones for second and third place, can either be sold or used in a digital football game Real FIFA is also developing. But we are playing their fantasy game, so let's get into it with my team. Here we go then. This is Real FIFA Fantasy. If you haven't played the game yet, it's very similar to the fantasy games that you know, FPL, UEFA, FIFA Fantasy, whatever. You get a budget of 100 million euros to pick 15 players, 3 forwards, 5 midfielders, 5 defenders, and 2 goalies. Each game week you start 11 players while having 4 subs, and your players get points for their real life performances in the World Cup in all of these games. That's the first match day of the group stages, being the first game week on the game. Between the game weeks you can make transfers. For example, before the second and third game week of the group stages we can make 2 transfers to the team. After the group stages though, we have unlimited transfers to enter into the round of 16. And then in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final, you have a lot of transfers because your teams and your players will obviously also get knocked out. What I find really cool though on Real FIFA compared to the traditional games is that the scoring is much more detailed. I personally find it a little bit boring that, for example, on FPL or on UEFA Fantasy, all that counts are basically goals, assists, clean sheets, a couple of tackles sometimes, and that's pretty much it. While here you see, of course, the main things also count, but your players also get points for clearances, blocks, interceptions, duels won, key passes, shots on target, so that is much more realistic. You can also read the rules again on the website or the app on your phone, but let me show you the team that will top our league. I'm gonna be jinxing myself again. We start with the goalkeeper, and here the most expensive ones cost 5.5 million. For you to compare that, the cheapest players on the game are 4 million euros, and the most expensive ones are 11.5 million, which is only Benzema and Messi, by the way. And it's pretty much the more further up the pitch you go, the more expensive the players get. So are we going to get one of the best goalies here? A couple of them cost 5.5. Even though it sounds cheap, we need to save up that money to be able to afford good forwards. You know what? I still went for 2 of the most expensive goalies. And the first one is someone who I don't really rate a lot as a player, but I'm going to explain to you why I picked him. It's Jordan Pickford. Yeah, I've never really thought of him as one of the best goalies, not even in the Premier League. England simply have a goalkeeper problem. It's probably their weakest position. But the thing is that for a goalie, what mostly counts is clean sheets. And England are in a group, we can already see it here. First game against Iran. Then they also play the US and Wales. So logically speaking, they should be topping their group. Yes, we roast them, we troll them. They've been turning up in the big competitions lately. And especially their defense has been good. So I am indeed loading up on an England defense. You can pick maximum 3 players of the same country. You will notice I did that for England. So I think Pickford is a good call. And now for the second goalie, also among the expensive ones, no less than Emi Martinez from Aston Villa from Argentina. He's one of the few Argentina players that I really love. I don't know why. He has that certain something. He does all kind of tricks on the pitch, helping out his team in so many different ways. And I've said it before, I think Argentina are probably the main favorites for the World Cup alongside Brazil. And if we look at their group, first game is against Saudi Arabia. Very likely to keep a clean sheet there. They also face Poland and Mexico. They might break the record for the biggest unbeaten streak. So I think with this combo, Pickford and Martinez, you're basically guaranteed at least 1 clean sheet every match day. So in my opinion, worth splashing those 11 million euros there. Getting to the defenders, here the most expensive ones are 6.5 million euros. Alba, Theo Hernandez, I think it's Theo, and Marquinhos are the 3 best ones here. How the hell is Alexandro 6 million? Not trying to disrespect him, but he is definitely not worth that. When you see the other players in that price range. Well, I did not pick him for sure, but I picked another one that I will probably be roasted for. Here we go, Harry Maguire. Yes, I know, he's the biggest meme in the world of football, but I think you guys are being too harsh on him. Yes, he's often being caught out of place, and he's not worth a transfer fee fee that Man United paid for him. I totally get that. But we're in the World Cup here. We're watching him play for England, and you can tell me whatever you want. In his two big tournaments for England, World Cup 2018 and Euro 2020, he turned up big time. I don't know, he's a different person when he plays for England. A completely different player and a real leader. So for 5.5 million, I think this combo with Pickford here, once they get a clean sheet, will do me very, very well. And to finish it off, I also added another England defender. They have a couple expensive ones here. Trent is 6 million, which is not a great pickup because he will barely start, I think. And you have Shaw, not bad, but I went for Kieran Trippier. Balling at Newcastle right now and also one of Gareth Southgate's favorite. And here you even have the upside that he can also get offensive actions. He can very well get an assist or a goal even. You remember his free kick in the semi-final 2018 against Croatia. So I think you cannot go wrong with this England defensive trio, really, especially considering the group that they're in. Let's move on then. And my next defender is also among the more expensive ones, a 6 million pickup, the 5th Premier League player and possibly the best fullback in the world. You already know who I'm talking about, Joao Cancelo. I mean, just the fact that he's the same price as Alexandro, an absolute no-brainer. Portugal as well, in a feasible group with South Korea and Ghana, who, with all due respect, they should beat. I'm not convinced of Fernando Santos at Portugal anymore, but he does play a defensive style, so they should pick up some clean sheets. But I hope Cancelo will still be given some sort of freedom to express himself and create. That's what he does best, let's be honest. A complete player. He will get the defensive actions, the key passes as well, and I would be very, very surprised if he finished the World Cup without a single goal or assist. I simply had to pick him up. 5 out of 5 Premier League players so far, and what if I tell you that my 6th player will also be from the Premier League? After Cancelo, the second former Juventus player that I'm so gutted they let him go, Christian Romero from Tottenham and Argentina. Do I have to add anything about Argentina as a team and especially their defense? Don't think so. Here, again, the combo with the goalie. I do trust England defensively, I do trust Argentina defensively. So for example, here I first line up my England trio against Iran. If they don't perform well, then I sub in Martinez and also Romero when Argentina faces Saudi Arabia one day later. And we've been spending quite a lot so far, 34.5 million on 6 players. So my 5th defender will be a little bit cheaper, and I don't think many of you will have him on the list because most won't even consider him a defender. Where is he? Ah, here we go. Filip Kostic, finally a current Juventus player. Only 5 million euros. That is a bargain. Well, in reality, Kostic is something between a left winger and a left wing back. But he is a defender on Real FIFA, so he gets those sweet, tasty clean sheet points, while at the same time being much more forward on the actual pitch, making him much more likely to get goals and assists, especially assists. He's an assist god, to be fair. So absolute no-brainer. Yes, doesn't play for one of the huge teams, but I think Serbia want to look out for this World Cup. We get to that later on again. And look who else costs 5 million. Many of these players won't even play a single game. So that leaves us with a little bit over 60 million euros on the 8 remaining players, which is probably the most exciting part, where most of the opinions will split midfield and attack. And I think in midfield I found 2.5 or 3 real bargains, where I just couldn't believe how the hell they are so cheap. Messi is a midfielder in the game, and he's certainly not cheap. But you know what? We're gonna pick him. Let's start with the absolute banger, Lionel Andres Messi. Welcome to Fiago FC. This was a tough one for me, because I don't usually like going for the most expensive players, and many people will get Messi. Let's not lie to ourselves. Yeah, you can see 62% have Messi, while for comparison, only 1% have Filip Kostic. So of course, Messi is mainstream. I mean, it's Messi. But with his amazing current Argentina team, and Messi himself regaining former strength at PSG as well, he's a must pick in my opinion. I had money left because I made these bargains that I'm going to show you in a second, so I thought, why not splash it on Messi, because he is worth it. But now the real bargains. You see the most expensive midfielders: Messi, Neymar, De Bruyne, Thomas Müller, Sané, Foden, Vinicius. But while going through this, I was constantly thinking, there's one man, one of the best midfielders in the world, that's simply missing. Where is he? Where is he? And he is not even on the first page. He is not on the second page either. And he's not even on the third page. And it's literally Joshua Kimmich. How the hell is this man only 5.5 million euros? I don't get it. I mean, we've seen it before. You count the won duels, key passes, assists obviously, interceptions as well. So he must be a weapon in that game. Absolute undisputed key player for Germany. And he's on the same level as Brekalo, Junior Hoylett from Canada, Sulemana, K.I. Lee, Alfarai, Aldawsari, Ibarra. Some of these players I really don't know. No disrespect, but Kimmich is on another level. 5.5 million. Only 11 million people bothered to pick him up for this absolute steal. Well, good for us. We're picking Kimmich. Our next midfielder is going to be another German, and not Müller, not Sané, not Gnabry, not Reus, but the wonder kid, Jamal Musiala. 6.5 million, more expensive than Kimmich, but still I think that is worth it. Crazy rise he's had over the past few months. I do see him starting for Germany. He's just a magical player, gliding through defenders. Well, I've talked about him countless times. You know how good he is. Decide for yourself if he's worth 6.5 million for you. For me, he is. Now I've got one bargain left and one player that's not really a bargain, bargain, but barely anyone else will have him, I think. And I trusted him. First of all, the bargain. And there again, we have to scroll so much down. It's crazy. He costs 6 million, and there we go. Fede Valverde. Similar case as Kimmich. How is he only 6 million? Undisputed key player for Uruguay in an insane form. He gets the goals, he gets the assists. Can see him getting interceptions, key passes, couple shots on target as well. Fede Valverde. That is the reasoning. And I'm playing a Uruguay combo. You will see that later. Now though, the player that I think barely anyone will have, he's a little bit more expensive, but one of the most informed players in Europe right now, Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven, from Holland, the Netherlands. How many people have him? Only 3%, you see? Balling it out for PSV, not just in the Eredivisie, also in the Europa League. At this point, Louis van Gaal has to start him. And Gakpo is sort of my surprise package, my differential player. Just like Kostic here, these two are what makes Fiago FC in this World Cup fantasy game kinda special. Now though, the forwards. 3 players and we have 23.5 million left to pick them. Who are we gonna sign? Benzema, the most expensive one. Mbappe is there with 11 million. And you've got Lukaku, Kane, Ronaldo, Lautaro, Jesus, and Lewandowski, not even among the most expensive ones. I was considering to get him, but then again, he plays for Poland. Not a great team at all, and he hasn't scored a single World Cup goal yet. Not saying he won't score now, but I think there's better options. I've got 2 very good value for money deals, and then the third one is a banger. Okay, let's go. My first striker, you remember I talked about Serbia. Kostic is there, and we pair him up with no other than his teammate and fellow countryman, Dusan Vlahovic. Hell yeah, 4% picked him, 7 million euros only. I see Serbia as a threat this year. I honestly don't know if it's going to be Switzerland or Serbia advancing. Both class teams. Vlahovic will back goals. You could also go for Mitrovic there, but he was more expensive and I just couldn't afford him because my money was exactly enough. So I went with Vlahovic, who I think is the better player anyway. Striker numero 2 is right next to Vlahovic, and another combo, a pairing. I talked about Valverde, and I will combine him with Darwin Núñez. Yes, the man is getting some stick as a new Liverpool signing, but honestly, I think people are roasting him way too much. For a new team, new league, new country, he's not doing bad at all. And I think also Uruguay will advance from this group against Ghana and South Korea. Could have also picked Suarez, but also he is a little bit more expensive. So instead of Mitrovic and Suarez, I went for Darwin and Vlahovic, the younger and cheaper duo. My opinion, also better duo. So that leaves us with 9.5 million euros. Told you I used up all of my budget, and now you tell me who is 9.5 million euros here. No other than this guy. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro in our team. And now I know what you'll be saying. How the hell are you picking 37-year-old Ronaldo? He's finished. Yes, he doesn't have the best season. Very, very unfortunate situation for Cristiano at United. And he is not the same Ronaldo he used to be. But this World Cup might be his last major tournament with Portugal. And I do expect a different version of Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal. He will want to turn up. He will give it all. And I do see him score some goals. That way I also have Messi and Ronaldo in the team. The 2 best players of our century, alongside some of the best players of the next generation, Vlahovic, Musiala, Valverde, Darwin, Gakpo, and a couple England players. I am so happy with this team. This is Fiago FC. Last thing we have to do is select our captain for the first game week. And since on the first day, none of our players are playing, second day, 21st of November, it's England and the Netherlands regarding our players. And as strange as it sounds, but my captain for the first day will be Kieran Trippier. And now it's time to create our own private league just for our community. I think I'm gonna call it Fiago and Friends. Now the last problem is I'm currently alone in Fiago and Friends. There's only one participant, that is Fiago FC, which is myself. So now it's your turn. Join my World Cup Fantasy League. This is the join code, and the easiest way is to simply click that first link in the description, build your team, and then you're in the league. I just built my team on the website, but you can of course also play on the Android or iOS app, which I'm gonna do during the World Cup. I heard that everyone who plays the World Cup Fantasy game will also get some free mystery prizes via email from Real Fever, and most importantly, of course, the prizes in our league. That PlayStation, the Ronaldinho Collectible. Second and third place get 6 stuff as well, and it is entirely for free. So come join me. We're gonna have a full month of fantasy action-packed fun. Just do me a favor, please only join if you're worse than me.
Why the hell am I still alone in my league?
Just kidding. See you in the league.